Aubrey. I'm getting, but I'm a lover, not a fighter. You're a fighter. Why? Who are you fighting? Oh my gosh. Huge romantic stuff going on in this one. Huge romance. You're the dude. You're not the chick in this. Sorry, honey. Not that that's a bad thing, but this is what's coming through. You have to be the fighter. She's not the fighter. He's the fighter. You're the fighter. You have to fight a lot for this particular person. There's judgment and disparagement against you. You're seen as lower or lesser than her. Now, I don't know if this is social status or station, or just that her folks maybe didn't like you much. Yeah, her folks didn't like you much. Her folks thought, oh, this guy is just going to not be able to take care of her. This is really coming with like heavily loaded patriarchy nonsense. Well, nonsense from our modern time. But like, they aren't going to just let their daughter's hand be given to anyone. And you're saying, but I can provide, but you're a fighter. They don't think that that's a great idea. Like, she can offer so much more. She deserves more. And you're coming in at 2 cups and they see 10 of cups. You've got somebody that's competition on the line going like, okay, I want this one. And you're like, no, I want this one. As if she's like a piece of meat. I'm sorry, but no. That's my modern day. Okay, get out of there and back into here. Why is he here? The roles are actually swapped with you and this person. He's actually the player. He's actually the 10 of cups. He's actually got the breeding and got the more money, but he's like he's never had to do a hard day's work in his life. And you've had to work, you've had to fight, you know how to do what needs done. I really get that you're a fighter in the sense of like, maybe not Rocky Balboa, maybe not go in a sword fight, but you are a fighter. It's what you do. You're a bodyguard. You're a bodyguard and you're seen as expendable by her parents. So you're a bodyguard. You serve for somebody, but because you serve for somebody as the bodyguard, you're seen as expendable because you could die by the sword. And that would be up to fate to decide. And that would be your station. That would be proper. Because that's what you chose to do. Because somebody has trained you and you've been hired to keep track of somebody else that has higher station. The fuck? That's not very nice. All right. You've done a lot of battles and won, and you've done well at them. But Mr. Moneybags over here, they see as a better thing, a better bet for their child, their daughter. You're the bodyguard. Still the bodyguard, and they think that you are crazy cuckoo in the head to think that you're going to go anywhere near their daughter in that kind of a way. No. You low-class lout. Jeez. No, you low-class lout. You may not. Wow. The dad doesn't like you much, but he can respect you as a man and as a fighter, and you know you're handling your business. The mom really doesn't like you. She wants the money for her daughter. She feels there's security and safety there. You're like, no, I'm a good fighter. I'm a good bodyguard. I haven't gotten dead yet. The daughter can actually see you, but sees you as a long, not just a long distance type of relationship, because sometimes you're gone or absent, but also like something on the horizon, like maybe never attainable, something that isn't the prize for her. And she actually likes you. She's quite taken with you. She likes you quite a lot. But her parents are still like, yeah, I don't know about this. There's like multiple offers, multiple offers. Why do you have to have this fighter guy? He's beneath your station. Wow. The mom comes in and says it's not for her. She'll end up like the beggar girl. And can't you make another arrangement? Look how this comes in. If you know your Game of Thrones, there's the mom. Make another arrangement. I don't want her broke. Sheesh. You make a bet, a really, really big bet, and you take on a job that's quite a lot more dangerous and quite bigger than what you thought it would be. You're taking this on and you're going somewhere far on a bodyguard thing that's a particularly dangerous assignment. Unexpected, but if you can pass this offer, then you can have my daughter. Jeez. It's like the mom doesn't care if you get killed and dead. Her daughter would get over it. But this is what's been arranged. Somebody's made the arrangement. Somebody's made the plan. Somebody's like, if he can pass this particular, gauntlet, this particular situation, if he can manage this, then he might be fit for her. She waits and waits and waits, but she's grown weary. She's getting a losing hope situation. You pull it off, but she's losing hope. Like, why are you even playing by their rules? She doesn't know. If she does know, she just doesn't like it. She's just kind of losing faith in life a little bit. Why are you even playing by their rules? And you're like, oh, honey, I'm not. In your way of thinking, you can't answer her in that direct of a fashion, but that's what's going on. You know what you want, and you'll have it. You fight for a certain level of land. You win the fight, but it takes a lot of doing. You're a little underhanded in how you win the fight and how you get the land. You're in servitude with this bigger person and you say, okay, if you win this battle or whatever, if you keep him safe on this trip, then fine, he agrees to give you a certain parcel of land. It's a good amount of land, but only if you can save his life or, if he finds you worthy. You arrange for his life to seem under threat a little bit more than it actually is. You are a little bit of a clever.
Is it like a Romeo and Juliet situation?
Kind of, but better than Romeo and Juliet. They both ended up dead. You don't end up dead, but in this one, it's like the guy that you go protect, this big risk protector that is the one the parents have arranged. So Mr. Big Adventure, Mr. Danger, that's made an agreement with the parents. You've gotten him drunk and made an agreement that if you save his life, he's going to give you some land. Then you hook up with somebody else, pay them to put an attempt on his life, and then you save his life. And that's how you bypass these nonsense. That's how you beat them at their own game. You do the work. It's how you win. It's how you win the day. You do end up saving his life, but you were the one that actually arranged. Wow. There's not a devil in here, but there's a little bit of devilishness in here. I'm a little bit delighted for that. You arranged for Mr. Big Shot to have an attempt on his life. You arranged for somebody to scare the bejeebers out of him, and you got the land. You're like, enough is enough of this. What happens after that? We're not there yet. What else do we need to know about Mr. Bejeebers here? The dad's right with the situation. He hears about how good this is. The dad knows that you've got the money. The mom finally backs off. She was worried that the daughter would be left destitute if you got dead. And it's like, no, you have something to offer now. You have something to offer. She can ride alongside you. She can ride alongside you. She can ride with you. You can ride together now. This is you both win the day. You both win the day. The victory is there for both of you. But the land that you have is at a distance, which you don't mind because you don't like that mother-in-law anyway. Jesus. All right. The dad understands it, has good humor about it, has a good humor and understanding about the situation. He understands that that's set up and this is the way of the world, such as life. He understands how to let the daughter become her own person. And frankly, he's a little bit glad that there won't be as much dependency on him anymore. But he understands the way of the world a little bit more. The mother almost wanted the daughter to be there forever or something. Who knows? The mother was a little bit of a trip. A little unhealthy, like living vicariously through the daughter and trying to control the situation. And no wonder the daughter was losing hope. The big love is there in the situation, and the daughter's independence is finally gained, and it's really, really good. In fact, you get her this land, and in the place that you're at, it's almost, and I don't know if it's like England to Ireland or Spain to Ireland or whatever, but it's that kind of a distance geographically, and it's a better setup with a better, nicer, more posh thing than the parents have. And not hugely better, but better enough that it doesn't hurt any. Oh shit. Dad's funeral kicks in. Mom's a little bonkers. Are you going to be stuck jailed with this banshee that you didn't like? You have to go into hero mode and go help, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with this. You try and go help the situation. You rally other members of the family. The daughter's seen as the one that has all the coffers now, and the mom is like, she's just awful. She's just so materialistically awful. It's just awful. You're like, no, I can deal with the things that I need to deal with. I've dealt with these battles before. I can handle this. And know her family won't be in poverty, even though I don't owe them shit. You're able to do what needs done to get them out of a difficult situation, but you keep it from a distance. You employ a protector of the mother, so the mother stays on her own turf rather than moving in with you. She's the one that gets a little bit hemmed in by what? A bodyguard.
She said, I'm Irish. And she'd like to know, do you have a time period?
I think we're in the 17s. It could be the 16s. I'm not sure. How far back are we? I can try and get one. I can't always get one, but I'll try. Let me try. Can we go back? Can we go back? We're in the 16s. Halfway through the 16s, and I don't know why. That's what I'm getting. These cards mean nothing other than this is where I stop, and then I see halfway through the 16s is the number 8. That's what I've got. That's when the announcement is made. That's when I've got. Halfway through the 1600s is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm getting. Anything else besides that? Could this have happened earlier than that? Because this feels like halfway through the 1600s that you're linked up with this other person, but this feels like inaccurate for the story I just told you. The story I just told you feels like it might be further back than that. So you've been in this past life with this person, you two on the horse here, you two horse riders that are riding together. You've been together more than one lifetime for sure. A couple of lifetimes, but this one was further back than this 16.
Like Outlander.
Possibly. What we're looking at is the fourth time that you guys were together in such a way was right here. You've been together multiple times. This isn't the plane of reference. This is, and this is like giving me about 300 years earlier. This time I'm getting is one of your lifetimes together. This is another one. I'm not going to read into that because we got enough information from this. But the 16th, you had a similar experience as you did here. Here's where it really got decided. Would you have had to deal with some of her other family members later? Probably to some degree. Now this feels like maybe 13, 14 in here. And this feels like 16s. It happened again. There was a recurrence of time there. Don't know why. Those are the times that came through, and it's nothing to do with. That's what I'm getting. That's what I can tell you. Maybe like the 1400s, and then again in the late like 1650s. So that's close to back to back. Like I don't know how often people reincarnate or what they do, but usually they aren't immediately back to back. Those seem pretty close for those kinds of serious type of lessons and an amplified lesson. This was an amplified lesson. It went a little smoother the other time, but
is it like an unrequited love?
Unrequited, it never gets to be together, never gets to be together, never gets to be together. So it's not unrequited love. It's not Romeo and Juliet where it's star-crossed but you're never together. You guys are fated together, more like bound.
And she has cycles?
Cycles and bound, yeah. Bound. There's soul contracts made in here that are big soul contracts made in here. Big soul contracts. But the mother being such a pain in the balls happens more than once too. And I don't know if she's the mother-in-law or just a soul tribe, soul contract in the vicinity of the two of you that creates havoc. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So it's not unrequited, it's bound. You do it in a cycle, you do it in a cycle again, you do it in a cycle. And you grow in each cycle. This is the particular cycle, and I feel like this is about 1400s. You do it again, 1680, but there's more reward. Less of the time apart entrapment, less bind, less bound here, less imprisonment, less hardship here. You've been through a chunk of it here. If you're willing to step into that lesson again with this person, it may not be just about you and your other person. It may not be just about you too. It's also the whole entourage, the periphery of players in the situation as well. That's what I got. That's wild. That's complete. Yeah, I want more and I'm getting no. I'm getting K. I'm getting no. So that's what I got. Yeah. It is interesting how often that we'll cross paths in one life or in the next. I did a past life for somebody recently, and it was like I think that you may have been at your mother's wedding, and you may have actually been the officiator at your mother's wedding in a past life. I told this person this, and they tell me, actually, I officiated at her life in this, or at her wedding in this life, like as in this lifetime, as in this week I did this reading live in person, and they tell me this. I'm like, okay, I was gobsmacked. So yeah, so some of these things, there's shades of carryover in past lives that come over in the lives that we're in. But yeah, really interesting, fascinating. Not so much star-crossed and unrequited as bound. So yeah, definitely.